What's up, YouTube? Poplar Mechanic here. Today we're in the shop just because I have a lot of maintenance to do. I do have some tree videos on standby. I just really don't have the time this weekend, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at square grinding some chain because I've got some saws to sharpen. I've got a big job starting Monday. We got about 12 trees to remove from the park in our city here, and we got to grind the stumps as well. So I'm just kind of prepping all the equipment and getting ready today, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to shoot some square grind stuff. I've been doing it for quite a while now, so I'm starting to get a really good grasp on how to get it done. So what we'll do is we're going to be doing the 462. We'll go ahead, and I just want to show you the chain right now as it is, and then I'll show you the process that I use. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so we'll be shooting this section on my phone just because it does a way better job of zooming in. So you can see here we have the square ground tooth. I'm running 404 here. I know it's kind of a weird thing to run, but there is reasons why I like running 404. This is the 462 on a 24-inch Sumara bar. It works really well, and that I can say. Okay, so you'll notice here when you're square grinding, you see this line. So that's ideally what you want this sort of gullet here, that square looking gullet, to line up to. And that'll sort of give you the best and largest chip. Now I use really soft angles, which we'll get into more. Like the steeper you put these angles, the less durability, which is not what you want unless you're racing or something. Okay, so as we look at the profile of this tooth, we can see this gullet down here. You see how that file is resting on the edge there. So what we want to do is I actually take a round file and I'm going to bring that back, and then we're going to go ahead, put it on the Symington, and then we'll give it another square grind. You don't want these getting out further than about 1/8 of an inch, I believe. I have pushed it and I probably could get away on this specific one, but we're just going to go ahead and we'll hand file it, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I just took a 3/16 file, and the reason I use a smaller file is because you're not really trying to hit the whole profile of the tooth, you're just trying to get that gullet down, and now it's ready to be square ground. So I just wanted to show you that it was real quick and easy to knock those down with the round file. Okay, let's throw her in the Symington and see what we can do. Alright guys, so here's my Symington grinder. This is one of the older models. It's not new, but it is made in the US, which is pretty cool because you just don't see that much anymore. So we can go ahead and take a look at our stone. Now keep in mind my stone is getting a little bit wore. I do have another one. I'm using these salmon colored stones. Now the first thing I like to do, I mean, this one's not too bad because I just cleaned it up a while ago, but I actually like to use these little guys here, not for my side shaping, but just for the top. For me, it just seems to work better. I don't know if this one, it just isn't working that good for cleaning up that top edge, but I do like to use this. And you can see here, I don't have an angle finder, but you can see this is very soft angles, you know, like almost straight up and down with the stone. Not quite, but almost, you know what I mean? So that's what you're looking for here. You don't want really steep angles for your work saw. So I just thought I'd point that out. So I'm going to go ahead. This stone actually looks like it's pretty much ready to go. I might give her a little hit here, and then we'll throw the chain in and sharpen it. Okay guys, excuse me. So now that I cleaned up the stone, you can see how this arm swings, and you can see how it just rests against the side here. And basically you're trying to line this top corner up with the top corner of that stone, and that's where you want to be. Okay, so you bring this in. Now sometimes, you know, you'll have to start a little lower, but we'll get into that, and I will shoot some GoPro footage of me actually grinding, but I can't really mount my phone here anywhere. So what I'll do is I'll get some footage of me grinding, and then I'll show you the tooth and then what to look for so you get the grind correct. Okay, so now we've got the chain all set up. We've dry fitted it to the stone so we know we're close to that line. I like to give her a little spin by hand and then pull that switch towards you. That'll get it spinning, and then I like to keep downward pressure on the chain, and then we'll just slowly walk it in. You're definitely going to want safety glasses, especially the way I have mine set up. I got a stand built, but it's really nice at the level it's at. So we'll just, I like going in just nice and easy. Nice smooth cuts. Okay guys, so here's a close-up of that tooth. Now if we study that line there, we can see that it's just slightly above the corner. So the stone's still hitting slightly above the corner of that tooth. You can see that line there. So what that means that we have to go in just a little bit more. But you got to be careful. If you go too far, you'll start getting beaks, which you don't want. But I thought that's actually not a bad grind for the first one. So we'll go ahead and we'll touch it up a little bit more and get it right to that corner. Okay guys, so I've went ahead and stopped the stone, so I finished the grind. What I wanted to point out though, if you are hitting a little high, like you have to go in further more, one thing that I like to watch for is this corner of the tooth. If it's got a bit of a sweep on it, like a bit of a beak, that usually means you got to go in a little further. So what I do is I watch this line across the top, and once this top tooth gets square, that's when I like to stop and then assess, right? So if you got a bit of a beak on this corner, keep grinding basically. And then you don't want to go too far because then you'll start getting beak down in the bottom. So this one, I actually checked it already before I took this. It does need just a little bit more to get right to that corner. So I'm going to give it that and then we'll have a look. Okay guys, so sorry if I'm shaking a little bit. I'm kind of resting on the machine here, but you can see this edge is nice and flat, and then if we move to the top, it's kind of tough to get in here. We can see that this edge here is flat too, and that's what you're looking for, no beaks. And then you can see I might have done this one a little much and had to adjust, but you can see I've got that little piece of gullet sticking out there, and it is on a funny angle, but like I said, my stone is wore a little bit funny at this point in time. But basically that's what you're looking for. We'll just go ahead and have a look at the inside. Okay guys, so now that we verified that those angles are both flat, we don't have any beaks. I know it's kind of tough to see, but you can see that line that runs through there. It's going right to the corner, and that's exactly what you're looking for. And you know, like I said, I'm still learning as well on this, but I can tell you right now that that's going to cut amazing. So we're just going to go ahead and do that to the rest of the teeth. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's video. If you watch my short videos, because I've been doing one from Monday to Friday, one each day, you'll be able to see me cutting with this saw. So I got to do the 500. So it'll either be the 500 or the 462. But we're going to be cutting with them. We got, like I said, 12 big poplars to take down, so there's going to be lots of cutting. So if you're interested in seeing it in the wood, just watch my short videos. Another thing I didn't mention is the depth gauges or rakers. So what you would normally do, if you really bang it up, sometimes you'll have to sharpen it, do them, and then just touch them up, which seems like a lot of work. But if you're keeping it in clean wood, it's really not that hard to maintain. You can go through it really quickly, and it's very beneficial. And once you sort of start cutting with it, you don't really want to cut with anything else. Now, when it comes to my longer bars, like my 661 with the 30-inch, I don't square grind it. I have before. It's just too much maintenance on it, you know, because you're doing stump cuts with it and the chances of hitting something are just too high. So I've been sticking to my top handle saws. Works really good on the top handles. And then the 462 and the 500i. So that's what I focus on when it comes to square grinding. And honestly, if you're cutting in the air with them, they'll last a really long time and they're easy to touch up. So like I said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.